Okay, this second part of what we call shame and feeling guilty. And well, we kind of talked about shame and feeling guilty connected to war-related PTSD. So just please give me some more reflections on that.
Yeah, I mean, the reflections are really, kind of going into it. It's not shame of what I did in Iraq. It's not guilt of what I did in Iraq. It's really I was so great at what I was, and now I'm not that anymore. But my life is, I don't want to say ashamed of my life, of what I've become or anything else like that, because but it's really like you're never back in that situation again. So it's almost like a loss, right? So you look back and you say, I'm not who I used to be.
Yeah.
We all say that as we get older, but I think, at least for in my case, I've done all these things, and now I'm coming out and I'm trying to figure out how to live in the real world on a daily basis, and I'm ashamed that I can't cope with it.
Let me make a footnote here, as I like to call it. You have done all these things, maybe for our audience, mostly I would suppose war-related PTSD suffering veterans and their relatives, wives, or friends. Can you be a little bit specific on that?
Like what I've done in Iraq?
Yeah, and where you've been very successful at?
I mean, I was successful in the military.
Yeah.
Right. I was in Iraq. I was an infantryman. I was a Bradley commander.
Yeah.
We had multiple times where shit hit the fan. We'll call it that.
Yeah.
I've got my CIB. We'll leave that at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I've accomplished. I mean, since I've got out, I'm accomplishing things in the civilian world. I've worked for the Army. After I got out, I switched over to the German side. I've got a very good position in a German company. But it doesn't matter how much I'm doing, it still feels like I'm kind of a fish out of water. So,
Do you work full time?
I work full time, yeah. I travel, I work full time. I'm a director in a company.
Yeah.
I have people that I'm responsible for still.
Yeah.
But even as you climb the ladder, it never feels like you're there. It never feels like it was back then. And I think there's a lot of shame to say, like, I'm not accomplishing. I did all these things for my country and everything else like that.
Yeah.
And then, fortunately for me, I'm not on the street. I'm not homeless. Right? There's a lot of veterans out there that are worse off than me.
Yeah.
But I think that there's always that self-doubt, that self-value for me, where it's like, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm never going to be what I was back then.
And do you want to share your age with our audience?
Yeah, I'm 44.
44.
I look great for 50, but I'm just 44.
One thing that pops up when you make little jokes like that, maybe that's a topic for another video, how we got to know each other and other veterans that brought us together. And what they told me when I asked them, okay, what kind of a guy was Bill and what was he before the event? So maybe we'll talk in our next video about that. Let's call it old personality, or the former personality, which probably has not changed a lot, but we'll talk about that. Thank you for joining in, and please come back to our channel. We're talking here about war-related PTSD for American veterans. Thank you for visiting.